Lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Gentlemen, any additions or deletions to the agenda?
No, sir.
No.
Is there a motion to approve minutes from the last public business meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Moving into our proclamations tonight, item number 1 is Economic Development Week. We have Mr. Greg Hildreth is with us this evening.
Good evening, Commissioners. Jeff extends his apologies. He couldn't make it this evening, but I have some remarks here on his behalf and on behalf of the department, if you'll indulge me for a moment. So as members of the public may or may not know, this week is recognized as Economic Development Week by MEDA, which is the Maryland Economic Development Association. So just wanted to take a moment tonight to highlight some of the efforts that our office has put forth on behalf of your commission to further the economic well-being in the county. Strategic plan, so I have a kind of a bulleted list here with a little bit of narrative. Bear with me for a moment. Strategic plan implementation. Our office's new strategic plan was completed under your leadership in the summer of 19. We've begun implementation of that plan in earnest with our initial focus on strengthening local partnerships and revamping our business retention and expansion program, also affectionately referred to as BRE. We held our first partner roundtable last month, and we plan to make these a regular event moving forward, likely to be monthly or bi-weekly. The roundtable will provide a forum for local economic development organizations to share project updates, hold each other accountable to commitments and plan metrics, and to ensure that we continue to move the needle on our strategic plan goals. We've also recently advertised a new senior project manager position in the department to help tackle special projects and to increase our capacity to implement the strategic plan. COVID-19 response. County staff partnered with the CEDC, the Chamber of Commerce, and Frostburg First to engage in an outreach campaign in the wake of COVID-19. The outreach efforts assisted hundreds of local businesses in navigating the myriad opportunities to seek aid from local, state, and federal agencies during the initial impact of COVID-19. We appreciate the leadership of the county commissioners in establishing the County COVID-19 Small Business Assistance Fund, which distributed over $1 million in emergency grant funding to nearly 500 local small businesses. The program was truly a large impact and vital to the success of our small business community. Our tourism department continues to partner. As you know, they're kind of under the economic development umbrella here. Destination awareness and promotion highlights our quality of life, drives a positive narrative, and affects the attitude of the community, all of which is critical to promoting opportunities for business expansion, relocation, and entrepreneurship. Though COVID-19 has had an incredible impact on the industry and our tourism partners, Allegany County Tourism was quick to develop and implement an aggressive relaunch strategy by leveraging the strength of our community's natural resources and appealing to current U.S. traveler sentiments. Our messages were focused on outdoor recreation, road trips, and the appeal of the mountains and small towns. This summer, our partners at Rocky Gap Park have seen a 65% increase year over year in park traffic and revenue. Rocky Gap Casino Resort has reported a 15% increase in golf rounds year over year. The C&O Canal Towpath is reporting a 50% increase in traffic. The Great Allegany Passage has seen nearly 30,000 more visitors between Frostburg and Cumberland year over year. These numbers are pretty significant when you consider the fact that some of these partners were forced to close or partially close for a big part of their season this year. Since June, tourism's PR efforts have reached more than 281 million online readers through story placements that include Men's Journal, Fodor's Travel, and MSN Travel. We continue to be grateful to the commissioners for their support of the industry by allocating CARES Act funding towards significant tourism recovery efforts. Thank you for that. We've recently adopted SimpleView as a vendor for a new customer relationship management platform, also called a CRM. Our BRE program is first in our plan's implementation timeline. The CRM is one step that we're taking to formalize and modernize our BR program in the county. The adoption of the CRM will allow our efforts to become more data-driven and collaborative among county staff and community partner organizations. It will also enable us to better measure our efforts and outcomes, bringing the level of service to local businesses up to a new standard. A CRM will also allow for new opportunities in digital marketing and campaigning for both economic development and tourism. We've had a lot of activity in our industrial parks of late, which I'm sure you're aware of. A number of businesses in our industrial parks have expanded and/or are in the process of taking ownership of their facilities. With your support, our office has been able to preserve the value of our industrial spaces and attract private investment to the county. The sale of these properties into the private sector is a sign of health for the local employers involved and is an indication of success in utilizing our RBF. With availability of move-in or shovel-ready sites having been all but exhausted, we're starting to look at expanding our product in the near term. Our current effort in this regard is the expansion of the Barton Business Park wastewater treatment plant. We have engaged Thomas P. Miller and Associates to provide their expertise in securing funding for these efforts, as they have had success with similar utility-related projects elsewhere in the country. An expansion of the park's wastewater treatment plant would enable full development of the Cumberland Chase site and would allow for further opportunities in the industrial park. On the community development side, we've been keeping Mr. Nedved busy up there. He has secured $2.9 million in CDBG funding and $800,000 in ARC funding for the Locust Grove Sewer Pump Station project. The improvements will increase the capacity at the pumping station from 2.8 to 8.8 million gallons per day. Construction is slated to begin in January of 2021. The Locust Grove Pump Station serves about 10,000 workers and 17,000 residents. We've also secured $700,000 towards the improvement of the North Branch Pumping Station, on which construction is already underway. The North Branch Pumping Station serves our North Branch Industrial Park, which includes 15 employers, including Hunter Douglas, Berry Global, Webstront Store, the FEMA East Coast Logistics Center, and others, along with 150 residents in the Mexico Farms area. Berkeley Springs Instruments is a big project of late. The BSI project, the expansion project, has been an initiative of our office for a couple years now. The relationship has grown over time and is now culminating in the construction of a new facility in our Frostburg Industrial Park, which we just had the groundbreaking for that this morning. It was a great event. I want to thank you for your support of that project. It's a big win for us. We also have coming down the pike a pretty solid prospect on the Shell building. Our office has continued to market the Shell building in the Barton Industrial Park. It has won interest from several prospects since its construction in 2017, and we're currently in discussions to facilitate the expansion of a local business into the building. We're really optimistic, and hopefully we'll be able to announce more on that soon. So in closing, I want to thank our local and regional economic development partners, and I want to thank you, commissioners, for taking an interest in our work and making it a priority. In support of the forthcoming proclamation, I and other staff of the department want to reaffirm our commitment to continue in the pursuit of expanding economic opportunities for the citizens of Allegany County and enhancing the vibrancy and resiliency of our communities. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Greg. And we do have a nice proclamation for you this evening. And it reads, the Allegany County Department of Economic Development strives to enhance the overall business climate in Allegany County. The DECD diligently works to retain and grow existing businesses and to attract new entities and associated employment, and these proactive actions thereby increase the tax base in Allegany County. Berkeley Springs Instruments is an outstanding new example of economic development in Allegany County. A new 12,000 square foot headquarters building and manufacturing facility is underway at the Frostburg Business Park. BSI's local employment is projected to grow. And we, the Board of County Commissioners, hereby proclaim October 19th through 23rd as Economic Development Week, and that's signed all three commissioners. So please share that with the rest of the staff, Craig.
Sure, can do.
Here we go. Thanks. Okay. All right. Up again, on to our action agenda. Item number 2 is the Berkeley Springs Instrument Agreement. Mr. Hildreth.
Yes. So we are seeking a motion this evening to authorize the county commissioners to sign what will be the final agreement with BSI in their lease agreement. Mr. Silverman was not able to make the meeting this evening, but he did give me some prepared remarks to read for you. I can tell you the event this morning went very well, and Mr. Silverman is nothing but excited about getting in there and getting things going. So just try to imagine Dr. Silverman's voice coming out of my mouth here as I read this.
An impression.
Great.
Yeah. Good afternoon, gentlemen. I sincerely appreciate the opportunity to address the commission today and regret that I can't be there to personally extend my thanks and share my thoughts regarding the relocation of our business to the Frostburg Business Park. About 8 years ago, we moved into the area and we built a solid foundation for our business in South Cumberland. We were able to complete a number of product development projects based on our proprietary technology and transition to a production environment. We now have over 20,000 sensors monitoring pipelines throughout North America. Each of those sensors was designed and produced in South Cumberland. It was obvious that in order to grow more efficiently, we had to branch out and grow within the broader community, closer to the 68 corridor and closer to city and county resources. Thanks to the business recruitment initiatives of the county's economic development group, we were able to identify and secure a location that will meet our growth needs for years to come. And thanks to the county's public works staff, we now have a making of a facility that will benefit all the stakeholders involved. There's an old metaphor that we shape the building and then the building shapes us. I think this is also true of our community, which will help shape BSI. We are looking forward to building a pathway between the community's personnel resources and the job opportunities that BSI has to offer. We appreciate your endorsement of our plans and look forward to establishing and maintaining a close and meaningful partnership. Thank you again for the opportunity. Gene Silverman, Cumberland, Maryland.
Great. Thanks, Greg.
Sure.
Is there a motion to approve item number 2?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Great.
Thank you,
Greg.
Commissioners.
Thanks,
Okay.
Greg.
Moving on to item number 3, it's our bond authorization, Resolution 20-16. Administrator Bennett.
Thanks, Commissioners. What you have in front of you tonight, Resolution 20-16, would be bond authorization for our upcoming bond sale. As you know, we're going to take advantage of the strong market right now with interest rates where they're at. Go ahead and restructure all of our general obligation debt. So tonight, what you have in front of you is a mix of taxable and tax-exempt bonds, just really based upon law, why one's taxable, one's tax-exempt. Nonetheless, we're going to package them all together and put these on the market. So this was authorized by Bond Bill 2-20, which we ran by you guys back in August. It became effective October 12th. Our goal right now is to have our bond sale on October 28th, which is coming up quickly. Close it by November 12th. It's going to save us an average of $1.4 million a year over the next 5 years, which is the real reason we did this. It'll give us some flexibility as COVID's rearing its ugly head on us. It's also going to free up some cash for Allegany High School demolition, which we know is coming up on us once we get through asbestos remediation. So this will help us get that building down. Afterwards, it keeps us at our $3 million debt service goals. It does extend our debt just slightly, just by a couple years, but for the savings we get out of this, we felt it was well worth it. And then I guess last but not least, Commissioner Shade and I did our credit presentation to the bond rating agencies 2 weeks ago, almost 2 weeks ago. And I'm happy to report tonight both Standard & Poor's and Moody's have affirmed our ratings of AA. One's AA negative, one's big A, little a 3, both AA. That's very strong for someone our size. And to get it affirmed in this time, these economic development times, is a good thing. So we're looking for good rates as we go to market. This just authorizes us to complete the bond sale. So I'll leave it to your vote.
Absolutely. Jason, thank you for all your work. And Davenport and Company, we dealt with them again and helped us through this very complicated process.
Absolutely.
So, gentlemen, is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Great.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to our consent agenda this evening. Administrator Bennett.
So 8 items on your consent agenda tonight. Item 4 is a lease agreement renewal for Hamilton Relay. Item 5 is declaration of surplus property for tax sale properties. Item 6 is Route 36 water line replacement emergency community assistance water grant authorization. Item 7 is Georges Creek multi-stream ceiling project award in the amount of $195,800. Item 8 is the Maryland Center for School Safety grant agreement authorizing $112,128 for school resource officers in Allegheny County. Item 9 is the Governor's Office of Crime Control and Prevention grant award in the amount of $47,614. Item 10 is a travel request approval for a K-9 training for two of our deputies, which is necessary annually. Item 11 is the Baker Donaldson Intellectual Property Representation Agreement in the amount of $1,500. That's it.
Okay, gentlemen, any discussion?
Nuts.
Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Signed up to speak tonight, we have Mr. Ken Wilmot. Sure.
I'm Kenneth E. Wilmot. I live at 513 Ford Avenue. I got more miles behind me I got in front of me. I'm quite concerned about our trees. We've completely forgotten. We put dollar signs on our trees. But we have completely forgotten that our trees are actually a fountain of youth and survival. We cannot live without our trees. Our trees at this very moment are working for you, me, and everybody in the world. They take in carbon dioxide and produce oxygen, which we are breathing at this very moment. We have reached that point in time when we cannot afford to cut down any more trees. I just saw a film. Carbon dioxide is now in our oceans, killing our coral reefs. So you see, our trees, there aren't enough trees to take care of the oxygen that you and I are producing. I'd like to see a program where we plant trees instead of cut them down. Everybody, in the last 20 years, I've planted about 100 trees. My property, other people's. I transplant them. I look around in the woods and places, and I dig up the trees and transplant them in the fall. It's the only time to transplant a tree or plant a tree, anything. But I can't emphasize enough that we need to stop cutting down our trees, because there just isn't enough of them to do the job anymore. Our colleges, they teach nothing but forestry, cut down the trees. Cities cutting down 65 acres. How many people you think is going to be denied their oxygen? A tree produces enough oxygen in 1 year for 4 people for the whole year. That's just one tree. Takes care of 4 people. It don't cost us a thing. The only thing we need to do is to quit cutting them down. And we can hit this climate change right in the heart. It's our trees that are keeping us alive. And if we don't have trees, we have human race on this planet doesn't have a chance.
Great.
So,
Thank you.
anyway, my time's getting short. I have fibrosis in my lungs. I'm functioning 33%. but I'm still vertical. And I hope that in the future, before you do any project, consider how many trees are going to be cut down. I don't know how many they're going to cut down up on Dan's Mountain, but it's too many for that wind project. I would urge everybody to go into solar panels. Put them on your houses. We should start putting them on every house. The government should have a program to finance, to save our trees. Without our trees, we're doomed. That's all there is to it.
Great.
I appreciate my time. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Mr.
Mr.
Wilmot. Okay. Attorney Beeman,
Don't have anything further.
Administrator Bennett.
Just a real quick thank you to Greg, to Jeff, to Public Works for all their help, to Lee for drafting the agreement for BSI. This was truly a team effort, and it's been a team effort for a couple years on this one. So to see it actually get approved tonight is a very good thing. So just thanks to everyone for their work.
Great, thank you. Absolutely. And two things this evening. Number one, please make sure you vote. In this room, early voting will be available, as well as 6 early or election day sites throughout the county. You actually can vote at any one of them. So please make sure you vote early, or you vote on election day. We also have a box out here that's guarded and watched 24/7 that you can put your mail-in ballot right in. The other thing, Commissioners, I want to comment on is our back to school or lack thereof. The last couple of weeks, the Commissioners have been approached by many people, and I think that we need to give an opinion on this. You know, Garrett County is going to have every student that wants to go back to school part-time November 9th. Mineral County's already back. Bishop Walsh has been back the entire time. Bishop Walsh has to follow the exact same state guidelines as Allegany County Public Schools. There's no difference. Bishop Walsh has to follow the exact same guidelines as Allegany County Public Schools because they operate in the state of Maryland. So just be aware that it's not the health department. It's not the health department saying that Allegany County Public Schools can't open. I think that we need a timeline for the parents. We need a timeline so the teachers know what they're doing, because I feel horrible for them, but I feel most horrible of all for the students that are trying to deal with this virtual learning, and everyone's trying to make it work, but we're not delivering the education that they need. And I think that we really need to come together. The county has offered whatever we can do to help them in any way possible. I mean, we just funded school resource officers. I'm not sure why we need to fund that if there's no one in school, but here we are. So look, the Board of Ed needs to present a plan of when every student will be allowed back in school, and it needs to be done soon, because we're now over 6 months, and there's no end in sight. So that should be priority number one for everyone on Washington Street. Thank you. Commissioner Caparelli.
That's a tough act to follow. No, I echo Commissioner Shade's sentiment. This has been ongoing for a while, and I know that we have been getting a lot of information, a lot of emails, et cetera, regarding this matter. And I couldn't agree more that some way, shape, or form we need to be getting the kids back to school. It's important for them, and it's important for everybody, very much.
Mr. Brody.
Sir, congratulations. You put that out there much better than Dave or I could have. And you know that we agree with you 100%. I have nothing more.
Great. Okay, our next meeting will be after the election on Thursday, November 5th. See you then.